Hey everybody, I made Chicago on my cross-country trip. I'm so excited, and I continue to give you little teasers about each decade of my life that you're going to see in my book, Never Be Outworked. I think I talked about my teens and my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, and now it's my 50s. And that is my favorite decade. It's not only the current decade I live in, but it's the decade that's been the best to me. The challenges that I had for 4 decades before that really shaped who I am as a leader, and it's been amazing. I want to sum it up in 2, phrases. Trust God, He always provides. That's number 1. I've always been a believer, and what I realize now is He will always have a good plan for me. His plan, not mine. I don't know what it is, but it's always good. And number 2, you don't have to trust everybody. My circle is a lot smaller now than when I was in my 40s. And that's okay, because I realized that I don't share the same values with a lot of different people. And that's okay. I also realized that I was, sometimes being taken advantage of maybe, and I allowed it. It's not their fault. I mean, I think some people are manipulative, but I allowed it. We can only control our effort and our attitude, and if we let people manipulate us. So my circle is really small now. What does that mean? That means I've learned that when somebody threatens or is very manipulative, like they say, well, if you do that, then I'm going to do this, that's manipulative because they're not getting their way. Those people are out of my life, out of my business life, out of my personal relationships. Some of you know the challenges that I've gone through there, right? They're out. Right? I'm not going to have somebody cry or stomp their feet or do manipulative behavior. So I'm going to give you an example. Recently, I was in a very high stakes business negotiation. And I don't like these types of negotiations because there's usually like some kind of mediator involved. I like to see my negotiating parties face to face, but that was the rules of engagement, right? The other side, totally unreasonable. I drove thousands of miles for this, and it was 2 or 3 days worth. And I finally told him, you go tell them this. I said, you go tell them to blow goats. I actually used some expletives in there, some words that I don't always use, but necessary when necessary. I don't know if he told him that or not. That negotiation died. Good. You don't have to threaten me. I'm not going to be worried about it, but it was so unreasonable. Don't be afraid to walk away from relationships and deals. One of my business partners now says the best deals that you'll ever make are the ones you said no to. And that is so true. Same with relationships and so on and so forth. So don't be afraid to walk away and surround yourself with a small circle of people. And of course, trust God. And of course, never be outworked.